Welcome back. Still taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Borders and Boards hotline. Also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. Shelly has a Penguins question. She prefaces it by saying, I know this is sacrilegious, but what if you trade Patrick Hornquist and Connor Sheary to the Sens, of course, Ottawa, for Erik Karlsson? Or who else would bring the biggest net for the Penguins in a trade if not for Hornquist? First things first, I would have a hard time seeing Ottawa want to get rid of Erik Karlsson because he's really, really good, especially not getting a defenseman back in return. So maybe if you send another defenseman as opposed to a second winger, maybe Ottawa thinks about it, but I have a hard time seeing them giving up Erik Karlsson as good as he is. But to answer your second question, who brings the biggest net for the Penguins in a trade, if not Hornquist, outside of Crosby and Malkin, because in my mind those two guys are pretty much untouchable? Are we talking maybe a Phil Kessel? Do we want to go that route? He might bring the biggest return. He's probably a guy you wouldn't want to move. He's probably one of the five best guys on this team right now. So I doubt you want to move him. But if there's a guy that brings a lot of return, it's probably the guy who's one of the better scorers on your team, right, G?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not if you're not blowing things up,
right,
he's the next guy. Right?
I would assume that they wouldn't want to go that route because of the way he's playing. You want to keep that production, especially when the team's not scoring a lot of goals. But that probably is the answer as far as who nets the highest return. And that is totally independent of the fact that I would imagine, once again, I would imagine that he is not a guy they're looking to move because he's a guy that's so critical to what they're doing offensively right now. I'd make the case right now that the Kessel and Malkin pairing, as much as we kind of looked at the love-hate last year and maybe went back and forth about it, it's been one of the better things that's been working all year long so far.
Oh, yeah. So the only thing really that's, reasonably reliable from game to game.
Absolutely. So we'll go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Mike in Shady Side. He wants to talk hockey as well. Mike, you're in the Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. The reason I called, the two guys before me took some of my thunder away, but I think if the Penguins brought up Sprong and brought up Austin Reese, they can't be any worse than what we're doing out there right now. And after Erik Karlsson, if they trade Hornquist and Letang, Karlsson said he is not going to give Ottawa a hometown discount. So why wouldn't they consider it? And what would he do to this team? Somebody got a lot of fire under them. I've been watching them since they came to Pittsburgh, and we're spoiled, but we are spoiled with the talent that we got. There's no reason anymore not to bring up these kids and give them a chance. Thank you.
You got to find roster spots for them, Mike. You got to find a place to put them. As far as Karlsson's concerned, even if they would move Erik Karlsson, it's going to take more than two guys. It's going to take more than two guys, probably a couple of draft picks, to net one of the best defensemen in the game. Got to take a break. We'll wrap up when we come back. Stick around.